My name is Chase Stewart. I am the Executive Director with Communities and Schools of Southwest Virginia. We are really excited about our partnership with Bristol, Virginia Public Schools Storytime. Communities and Schools of Southwest Virginia is a nonprofit that's located in Bristol, Virginia, and we provide supports and services to our students. We are in schools every day to build trust, to establish relationships, and to make sure that you are successful. I invite you to learn more about us by going to our website, www.cisofswva.org, or liking us on Facebook. We hope you enjoyed the story.
Hey guys, my name is Megan Fabry and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Stonewall Jackson. And today I'm going to read a book that I used to read with my grandmother as a little girl, and it's called Chatterbox. And it's written by Stephen Cosgrove and illustrated by Charles Reasoner. Have you ever lost a kite on a windy day and sadly watched it fly away? If you could follow that kite high above the clouds and sail beyond your fondest wish, you would find the land of whim. And in this land of soft breezes lived furry little creatures called whimsies. The whimsies had cute button noses and bright shiny eyes, and they were covered from head to foot with fur as soft as dandelion down. As the whimsies went about their village doing their daily chores, occasionally they would stop to chat with one another. They would listen attentively to what the other had to say and then bustle on their way. For the whimsies were the best and the most polite listeners in all the land of whim. One little whimsy was named Bluebell, and like all the others, she loved to listen to everything around her. It was her job to walk through forever forests and collect branches of fragrant juniper and pine for firewood. And along the way, Bluebell would stop and listen to the birds singing their songs. Bluebell would listen to the chattering squirrels who lived in the woods. The squirrels were the biggest gossips anywhere in the magical land, but Bluebell liked to listen to all that they had to say and then go quietly on her way. One day, as she walked through the woods, she came upon a rickety old wagon loaded down with pots and pans, and an old peddler popped up from inside the wagon and said, "Hello, little whimsy, taking a walk in the woods, are we?" "Why, yes," answered Bluebell politely, "and who are you?" "My friends, and I have many, call me Switch Witch. And this," she said as she pointed to the little creature, "is Wizard Lizard, and he is my pet, my right-hand man, and he also has to pull the wagon." And Bluebell stood and listened politely to Switch Witch. "My," said Switch Witch, "you don't talk very much. Don't you have anything to say?" "Yes, ma'am, but I have been taught to listen first and never ever interrupt," said Bluebell in a soft, gentle voice. "Ooh, well, I've got something for you," said Switch Witch as she began rummaging around the wagon. "Aha, here we are." And she leaped to the ground holding on to some furry earmuffs, which she slipped over Bluebell's ears. "These are called muddle muffs, and when you put them on, you can talk and talk and talk and never stop. And you won't have to listen because you'll be too busy talking all—" "You know what?" Bluebell interrupted. "It's a beautiful day, and I saw the squirrels in the forest, and they were really funny, you know. And the birds, they were singing and hopping around in all the trees like such little silly things." Bluebell babbled on. With Switch Witch smiling a knowing smile, the little whimsy began to talk and walk back to the village. On the way down the path, Bluebell chattered on, and she talked the pollen off the flowers and the leaves right off the trees. The squirrels, though they tried and tried, they couldn't get a word in edgewise. And Bluebell didn't care, for she loved the sound of her own voice. What a chatterbox she had become. Bluebell raced into the village talking a mile a minute. She interrupted a group of whimsies who were discussing the weather, to tell them what had happened in school nearly a week ago. And she interrupted some whimsy children who were playing to tell them what she had seen in Forever Forest. "You know what I just saw?" she chattered. "The flowers danced in the wind, and the air smelled beautiful, and the sky was so cloudy, and the path was so windy in Forever Forest." And the whimsy children all put their hands over their ears and said, "Oh, my, what a chatterbox you are, Bluebell." After Bluebell had nearly talked the ears off of all the whimsies in the street, she rushed home to eat her lunch. And without so much as an "excuse me" or "by your leave," she interrupted her parents, who were sitting at the table having a pleasant chat. "You know what? I'm so hungry I could eat a whale. No, I wouldn't eat a whale because whales are so kind, but oh, I'm so hungry I could eat a zillion bowls of dandelion soup, and boy, that must make me the hungriest whimsy in the world." And her father tried to ask her to be quiet, and her mother tried to find out why she was wearing those strange earmuffs on such a warm day. But they could not even slip a single word in when Bluebell was talking. "Why has Bluebell become such an unbearable chatterbox?" her mother wondered, and she decided to go see Grandma Whimsy, one of the oldest and wisest whimsies, and perhaps she could be of some help. Bluebell's mother found Grandma at the dock. "I can't stand it. Bluebell babbles on and on." Grandma Whimsy knew what the problem was right away. "Oh, Switch Witch has given her those muddle muffs," she said, "and the only way to remove the spell is for Bluebell to listen to her own heart. And from now on, no matter what she has to say, no whimsy is to listen, and instead they must walk away." Bluebell's mother told everyone in the village what Grandma Whimsy said, and from that moment on, whenever Bluebell the chatterbox appeared, the other whimsies would stop quietly and walk away. And at first, she didn't even notice as she babbled on, talking only to herself. But as the day wore on, she began to feel lonelier and lonelier. Finally, she found herself in Forever Forest talking to a tree when she sadly realized that no one listened to her anymore. Bluebell sat in the moss that grew at the base of the tree and began to cry soft, quiet tears. For the first time since she got the muddle muffs, she could hear herself think, and she listened very carefully, and suddenly she could hear the magical beats of her own heart. Realizing that she had been terribly rude, she tore off the muddle muffs and threw them far, far away. And she spent the rest of the afternoon quietly listening to two young squirrels chattering as they worked. The muddle muffs lay quietly in the moss and would have been there to this very day had it not been for Switch Witch and Wizard Lizard, who were out searching for toadstools. Curiously, the little lizard picked up the earmuffs, and before the old witch could stop him, he popped them on his head. And just like that, Wizard Lizard began to babble on and on about how mean Switch Witch was. And Switch Witch was trapped by his words and had to listen to his endless chatter as he pulled the old wagon back to the land of frippery. From that day forward, Bluebell listened when others spoke and only spoke when she had something to say. You can talk all you want, but you should listen too. Just remember the lesson that Bluebell taught you. Hope you enjoyed our story, and I just want to say hello to my class, and I miss you, and I love you, and I hope to see you soon.